Geto offers his hand to Riko to take her home, but before she could take the hand, a bullet shoots right through her head. Geto cannot fathom what happened, while Toji is glad that his job is done. He tells Geto he is free to go, but Geto wonders how Toji managed to get there. Toji proudly announces he killed Gojo Satoru, getting the most obvious reaction in return. A furious Geto makes his dragon attack Toji right away, but Toji knows not to calm down even while being thrown off by a dragon. He tries to shoot Geto in midair, but Geto manages to dodge it and follows the dragon only to see Toji appear from the dust perfectly fine. Toji starts walking through the corridor, starting a story time for Geto, who walks parallel in another corridor. Toji shares how the Tombs of the Star and the Forbidden Barrier use barriers to guard their entrances, yet those entrances are full of holes once anyone finds the door. Since, at this time of the year, sorcerers are busy, and since Toji is like an invisible man with no cursed energy, it is easy for him to go unnoticed. The only problem Toji shares is that his wielding a cursed tool would make sorcerers notice the cursed energy around him. The story is cut off by Geto, who sees an opportunity and shoots an attack at Toji. Of course, it isn't this simple to attack someone who outsmarted Gojo Satoru. Toji appears from behind Geto, shocking him, but like any talkative person out there, Toji continues his story, even though Geto only wants to fight him. Toji continues that he keeps a cursed spirit to store objects for him, so nobody notices him. Toji made the cursed spirit so small that he could fit it inside his body. This way, Toji remains invisible and can cross any barrier even while carrying a cursed spirit and tools with him. This reason explains why he decided to attack without a cursed tool and dealt with, did not risk Gojo noticing him if he directly attacked Riko. Geto cuts to the point of his question about how Toji found the door to the Tombs of the Star. Toji enlightens him that traces need not be residuals of their energy, but they can also be mundane details like scents and footprints. Geto then attacks Toji with his rainbow dragon once again, but even multiple attacks on top of the dragon's attack are not enough to defeat Toji. He gets rid of the dragon and faces Geto as the bridge they are and falls down due to the impact of their fight. Suddenly, the moment pauses and a ghost-like curse appears questioning Toji if it is pretty. Knowing this ghost won't attack him unless he answers it, Toji decides to tell it she is not his type, as if it was a serious question. Suddenly, a lock of his hair is cut off along with an attack to his ear. As calm as ever, Toji realizes this is a trap set by Geto and manages to defeat it. Curse manipulation is a technique that allows the sorcerer to absorb curses into their body and use them however they want once the curse surrenders to them. Geto manages to catch Toji off guard and absorb his spirit to lock down his armory, but right before he could touch the spirit, Toji retaliates and takes a single moment to show the mastery of his sword on Geto's chest. Geto is down with a cross on his chest created by Toji. As he bleeds, Toji tells him the wounds are not deep enough to kill him, and after bragging about defeating the two powerful jujutsu sorcerers without curse techniques and randomly sharing how he names his son Megumi, Toji leaves. In the headquarters of the Star Religious Group, the Time Vessel Association that assigned Toji to kill Riko, Toji appears and makes his spirit vomit out the body of the Star Plasma Vessel. This organization has been against the concept of sorcerers and jujutsu being promoted and wants people to remain non-sorcerers. The old man is happy that they finally have a lead against Tenjin, while the suited guy accompanying Toji deems the possibility that humans might be in danger of Tenjin losing control. But the old man does not bother about that anymore. He just is proud to be able to carry Riko's body to brag to his followers about successful work against the sorcerers. Toji converses with the suited guy while walking outside. The suited guy bids Toji farewell, announcing he will only meet him for work or in hell. As Toji walks out of the headquarters, he faces a sight he did not think he ever would now. A bruised and blooded Gojo Satoru stands in front of him, grinning as if meeting an old friend. Gojo pushes his hair aside from his forehead, showing the scar, making Toji realize he used the reverse curse technique. Gojo still explains how he stopped counterattacking back then to put all his focus on this technique. It turns out to be a mathematical technique where Gojo multiplies the cursed energy, which is negative, with itself to make positive energy to regenerate his body. Gojo smiles like a maniac while explaining how he did not know it worked until he managed to succeed in using it this time. Toji is not wrong when he thinks of Gojo being high at the moment. Gojo seemed to be high, not on drugs but on the power of being able to survive death. He announces how he is going to make Toji regret not chopping his head off. Toji attacks Gojo, who dodges it swiftly and uses his reversed curse technique Red on Toji, throwing him off. Gojo floats in the air with eyes wide and a smile on his face, looking like a crazy monster at the moment. Toji knows the technique Gojo just used. It was an application of the limitless technique that descended upon him. He ingrained the positive energy generated into this application. Limitless has powers, and the neutral one has the power to stop the attacks. The red one carries the power to repel and reverse the attacks. And finally, the blue one carries the power to attract and amplify counterattacks. Even though Toji can strongly sense something off with Gojo, he deduces he can handle all these techniques and goes all out on attacking Gojo. Gojo dodges the attacks mindlessly, feeling wonderful like never before. He is aware that techniques passed down for generations are leaked out easily and are known by many, but not everyone knows that there lies a rare additional application of the technique that not everyone even in the Gojo tribe is aware of. The imaginary technique, Purple. It combines the effect of the red and blue techniques that pushes out a strong imaginary mass toward the opponent. A huge purple glow is all we see before Toji Fushiguro officially lost to one of the strongest jujutsu sorcerers that he wanted to bring down. Toji leaves a little message to Gojo that Megumi would be sold to the Zenin clan 2 to 3 years later, for Gojo to do whatever he wants about it. As the sun sets, the cursed spirit owned by Toji weakly crawls to Geto, surrendering upon him. Geto runs wildly towards the religious headquarters where a bunch of people are clapping. Gojo walks through the crowd carrying Riko's body, shocking Geto that he is alive. Geto is about to blame himself, but Gojo cuts him off, taking the blame for not being careful enough. Before leaving, Gojo asks if they should kill all those stupid believers of the association as being in his high state. He won't feel guilty about it. But Geto remains mindful and mentions that there is no point in that. And it is very important for jujutsu sorcerers to have a point behind their actions. Shoko and Geto are confused as the eraser that landed towards Gojo seemed to find its target. Gojo explains how he used his energy to turn the manual mode into automatic mode and used the strength of the cursed energy to analyze the danger of the attack by its mass, size, etc. He talks about further strengthening his limitless technique while Shoko worries. He will burn out his head of keeping it active all the time. Gojo shares that he is only using it within a range. He has strengthened a lot of his skills and is now focusing on long-distance teleportation. Gojo tried to communicate with Geto, who is lost in his thoughts of Gojo becoming even stronger and Shoko not going to any big missions, leaving Geto to spend too much time alone with his thoughts. Due to the frequent disasters in the last years, cursed spirits appeared around as maggots, and only the person who absorbs them knows that it tastes like vomit. And for a year, Geto has been taking in this task on a loop. During this year, Geto has started to waver from his aim of saving people as a jujutsu sorcerer and keeps reminding himself to fulfill his duties. Haibara, a junior, meets Geto and talks to him enthusiastically about going on a mission, to which Geto replies in courtesy affection to bring him a souvenir food then. Haibara tells Geto he does not think much deeply and just focuses on giving his all as a sorcerer. They are interrupted by a woman who, according to herself, seems to make a remarkable entry by her opening question being what type of woman Geto likes. Haibara casually replies, making Geto warn him, but Haibara confidently tells that he is good at judging people and knows she means no harm. Geto looks away questioning why then Haibara is still next to him. This weird statement, however, is passed as a joke. Yuki Tsukumo, a special grade sorcerer, is known among sorcerers as the one who does not take any missions and stays idle. The two get into a conversation about their ideals. Cursed spirits are the cursed energies of humans that have seeped out and solidified. Yuki's perspective is to eradicate the cursed energies from the world instead of controlling them. Such an example is Toji, who became a superhuman by having no cursed energy at all, which also made him resistant to cursed spirits. She then mentions how sorcerers leak very little cursed energy as compared to non-sorcerers, as their cursed energies continuously circulate within their bodies only. So, if all humans become sorcerers, there will be no cursed spirits produced anymore. Geto shares a crazy idea of eradicating all non-sorcerers then. And surprisingly enough, the girl calls it a feasible idea like evolution, but also mentions not being crazy enough to make it her aim yet. Geto then mentions how he used to think he has to protect the non-sorcerers, but has started to look down at them lately. All Yuki tells him is to make something his true ideology before acting on it and leaves. After another death incident, Geto seems to be getting stronger in his hate for non-sorcerers as he imagines a mountain of dead bodies of his friends at the end of this protection mission. So, when Geto was given a case of some students being blamed for killing another due to their cursed spirits, the elders all looked down upon the little girls, calling them monsters. This served as the last straw, and Geto finally decided on what he wanted. Gojo could not believe his ears when he heard Geto killing those adult non-sorcerers. Not only that, Geto killed all the non-sorcerers in his village. Geto appears around Shoko in Shinjuku when he reveals his intention of making the world only for jujutsu sorcerers. Shoko takes this lightly and proceeds to call Gojo, informing him about Geto being here as if all this is not a big deal for her. Gojo finds Geto and questions why he wants to do it all. Geto seems to have decided firmly what he wants and does not even want any mercy upon his non-sorcerer parents as well. Gojo cannot believe it's the same person who said he would not want to kill anyone without a point, but it seems like Geto finds a point in his ideology. Geto calls out to Gojo that just because he is the strongest, all of his ideologies are always supported, and if Geto were to be as strong as Gojo, this thought would have easily been approved. Geto gives his final verdict of having chosen his way of life and will live on it from now on, so if Gojo wants to kill him, he can do it by all means. This makes Gojo realize that his being strong alone would not be sufficient for succeeding, and he needs to consider that all those around him improve to be stronger, so they are not left behind. Geto takes over the Star religious group as all he needs is to absorb the curses and money of people. He travels to the stage and does not beat around the bush. He announces he is going to lead the organization and is going to change the name according to his purpose. It's not a surprise that the majority oppose this decision, but it was a surprise when Geto called one of the members on the stage and executed him in front of everyone, effectively threatening them to obey him. Gojo finds a first grader, Megumi Fushiguro, who at first glance chooses to bully Gojo over his face. Gojo starts his rant to Megumi about his father and how he has cursed energy and would have noticed his curse technique by this age. After all the rant, Gojo asks if Megumi wants to go to the Zenin clan, but Megumi seems to be smarter than his age as he has seen others disappear randomly too. Gojo is amused by the little kid and informs him that he might make him work harder than expected. Gojo wishes to make Megumi strong enough to not be left behind by him. And just like that, Gojo-sensei is brought back to the present by his 3 clown students who are amused at the fact that their sensei also sleeps. As Gojo wakes up, Yuji and Nobara get distracted by the expensive chair while Megumi wonders why Gojo is laughing randomly.